So I want something that's big enough to get through this head, but not so big that it's gonna tear anything else up. Get down in here. Those are soft as hell. Okay, see how I just did that?
Yeah.
That tells us that it's released mostly. Yeah. So we pull this. Okay, get that out of there.
There's the core. Right to the darn core.
Feel it.
Yeah.
Pure mush. Come in here and take this out.
It's just leaking around it and getting right to that core.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so we can't put this straight back in. What we're gonna have to do is dig out as much of that core shit as we can get,
Okay.
which is not gonna be fucking easy or fun. Probably the thing to do is gonna be to get that little red L-shaped bar and reach up in here and dig it out as best you can. And then what we'll do is we'll pack that with thickened epoxy. You know, so dig it back as far as you can.
Okay.
And then we'll pack that, like I said, pack it in there as tight as we can with thickened epoxy. Even if this is wet, that epoxy will still dry.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is create a hard barrier. A, so that this thing will actually screw down tight, and B, so that we block that from ever leaking again. And then we'll have to get that thing out as well. But leave that alone for right now. Focus on this, and I'll run out and see if I can find some sort of way to adapt that. But that's how you get a screw out that's busted. Now, they make little doodads and tools, easy out extractors and all that, but they really need to be used on screws that have more head thickness than this. This is way too superficial. So the best way, especially with this shitty ass stainless steel, this 304 shit, the best thing to do is just fucking drill it out. Because it's just, God, dog. It's just too soft and it's too thin, so it's not worth screwing with. You just burn through it like that and be just careful, especially if it's a piece you need to save. You just kind of be careful because you don't want to run right through the screw head and then blast into the piece. So keep going and watch it, and it'll tell you when it releases.
Yeah.
And then if it releases and you still can't get it off, there's too much of a lip, just put your bit back in there and just bump through it. Just keep bumping it until you break that tang off, because it's usually just a piece. Okay, and just you know, work it until you break it off.
It was wood.
Got the slats up the other day. I think that might have gone out on a video already, but so yeah, so we're kind of getting there, working today on all of this new bracing and all that. This is for headliner. The valance pieces will go here and here. This piece I can't put on until I get this wall in. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm working on, but just slow and tedious. Anyway, just working on that and trying to get that piece together, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It just really, especially for the balance pieces, all I really need is a little piece, but I'm trying to create some substantial substructure there so it really has something to rest on rather than just being fastened on the very edge and then floating heavily in the middle. And of course there's areas, this will get insulation put in all the way up around here and all that. But that's kind of what I'm working on, just chipping away at it. You know, we talked, I guess, a little bit on the post the other day. That point of light you see up there is where I had to fill in the deck to create, that way I can recut it and make it a smaller hole to accommodate the new waste port. But there was a substantial amount of leaking there that was getting into the deck core and rotted a bit of the core out around the edge. So Gina dug all that out, and I packed thickened epoxy up in there, and then had to come back and fill that hole in anyway, just because the new port is smaller. The outer ring is the same size as the original one, but the screw line is set in farther than the old one, so it was very close to the edges of that hole and very sloppy in the holes. So you know what, I wanted a better mounting surface, so I just went ahead and filled that in. But so that's kind of what's going on. I'm just trying to get this brace work up so that I can finish doing my trim out and get the patterns made for the headliner, and we can go ahead and fit that in and make sure that that's all good and finish out the trim, so that when she comes in to do finishes, she's got everything, you know, ready, and doesn't have to do a piece here and a piece there and all that mess. So anyway, I'm just trying to figure this out as I go along. I'm gonna have to create some kind of a decorative ring to go around these hatches in the overhead. You can see one there, sorry about the light, but I need to brace that up and get that ready for liner. So the new liner will be plywood back with marine vinyl fabric stretched over it and glued, and then it'll have Velcro on the back, so we'll be able to take it down and actually get up here and address hardware and, you know, leaks or whatever we may have to run into. If we need to put a piece of deck hardware on or whatever, we can actually access it without it being upholstered in like it was originally. But so anyway, that's kind of what's going on. I just figured I'd give you a little heads up. Guess I'll catch up with you later.